Hello everybody, I'm just getting myself situated for the first of the summer series of recordings so that you can continue your practice while I'm away, and I applaud you for your dedication, and thanks to everyone for being here today. Thanks to Steffi for setting up the projector. I hope you can hear me okay, hope you can hear the music. And yeah, let's get ready for a lovely practice. This week we're working with the energy of our sacral chakra. That's all around the element of water. So here comes a nice flowy practice. So we're going to start off in my favourite position, Supta Baddha Konasana. So Supta Baddha Konasana, find a comfortable position on your backs, with your feet together, your knees wide. You might want to use the blocks just to prop up your outer thighs here. So now that you've arrived in your Supta Baddha Konasana, try to get the soles of your feet connecting the big toe, the little toe, the inner and outer heel, and just start to arrive in the room. Arrive with your breath, and imagine a stream just gently flowing past you. And at any point in the next few minutes when we're starting to settle, if any thoughts pop into your mind that you no longer want, then just imagine that you just gently allow them to disappear into the stream next to you and float away. You might now want to place one hand on your upper chest, one hand on your belly, because when we work with this watery energy, we want to get that sense of flow, that sense of fluidity. And this is the week where, in terms of how our different weeks are, it really is a flowing week. So that's why we really want to connect to that idea of water, that constant ebb and flow, rise and fall. So with your hand on your chest, notice your chest gently rising, your belly gently rising as you inhale. And then notice as they drop away with the exhale. And take 5 of these beautiful breaths now. Noticing the movement in your chest, starting to let go, starting to feel free and easy, like a body of water that has no agenda. It's just slowly moving. Sometimes just in one direction, but if it's the sea, it's that gentle back and forth. And when you finish that 5th and final breath, we're all going to take for the next 3 breaths that beautiful ocean breath where we sigh out of the mouth and it sounds like the ocean. So together, let's inhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. And now I'm coming back down to Supta Baddha Konasana myself now. So now just turn your palms up to the ceiling if they weren't already turned up to the ceiling. And I now want you to start just gently pushing the heels together. And as you push the heels together, you'll notice your glutes engage, your legs kind of lift up slightly, and then with a big exhale, out of the mouth, allow the legs just to open a little bit more and relax down to the mat. And this time as you squeeze together, squeeze your toes together. And you might notice a slightly different connection in the glutes. Maybe it's a little bit higher up this time. And then with a big exhale, allow the legs just to float open a little bit more. And this time let's squeeze the whole foot against the other foot, all of the toes, the inner, the outer heel. Really feel that power being generated in the legs. And then with a big sigh out of the mouth, just allow the legs to open. And take that 3 more times in your own breath, squeezing together, generating that energy. And as you exhale, allow the legs to soften, to open across the hip. This is the area of the body that we're targeting today, into those hip joints to create more space, more fluidity. So you're probably now on your 3rd one. And exhale, feeling beautifully open. And you might already feel a little bit more open than when you started at the class. So now I'd like you to take your feet as wide as the mat, as if we're coming ready for our windscreen wipers. But this time, instead of doing a full windscreen with both legs, I just want us to float the right leg out to the side. So you come onto the outside edge of that right foot. Actually put your hand on that left hip to just keep that grounded into the mat. And then inhale, bring that right leg back to center. And now float the left leg. Just going to move my candle because otherwise my trousers are going to go up in flames. Take the left leg out to the side and anchor the right hip down. Inhale it back to center. So take 2 more of these on each side. We're just doing a single leg windscreen wiper here. And each time the leg comes all the way up to the top, that's the cue for the opposite leg to then start moving. So there is no stillness here. It's almost like those little beads of balls that you could tap one at one end and they would send their momentum to shoot the other one off to the other side. So potentially you've got now 1 more on each side, just allowing the left side now to float open and then bringing them both back to center. And now we'll do our double windscreen wiper. So exhaling both legs over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhaling both legs to the right. And I want you now maybe just to close your eyes down. And I've said this before, that when we're doing this movement, just not quite so much as when it's an earthing class, but I still want you to feel like your legs are having to move through something with a little bit of viscosity. So you're not just flinging them backwards and forwards, you're really feeling the muscles around the hip joint having to send one leg over, both legs over to one side, and then the other legs over to the other side. So just take 1 more on each side. And this time, as we bring both legs over to the left, I would like you then to extend the right leg across the body. So it's coming all the way across, almost touching down to the floor. And then inhale, lift it up and over, like you were in your wide windscreen wipers, and then take the left leg, so the legs over to the right again this time, and then this time it's the left leg that stretches away, and then arc it over the top of your body. Pop it back down onto the mat, bring both knees over to the left. Send the right leg all the way over to the left. So getting a twist here. And then inhale, bring that right leg all the way back over. Drop it down on the mat. Send both knees over to the right. Extend the left leg across your body to get that twist. And then inhale, take that left leg over your body, back down onto the left side. Bring the right leg over in that big arc into that twist. And then bring it round and over. And then this time just drop both legs back down onto the mat. This time we're now going to drop the left knee into the centre of the mat. So we're doing like a reverse windscreen wiper now, internally rotating that leg. Now take it back to the sky, and then this time take the right leg down into the centre. And depending on how much flexibility you have here, you might be able to bring that knee all the way down to the mat, and then bring it back up. Exhale, bring the left leg into the centre. Inhale, bring it up. Then bring the right leg into the centre. Inhale, bring it up. And let's take 2 more on each side. Just using your own movement, your own momentum. Lovely. I think we've got one last one on each side. And then this time, take your feet a little bit wider still, so they're probably off the mat now. And just float both knees into the centre to kind of kiss each other. And then take them all the way out. Really kind of try to take the weight on the outer edge of both feet. And you'll really feel the muscles at the side of your bottom really having to work hard to open your legs here. And then inhale, drop them both back into the centre. Exhale, open. Inhale to centre. Exhale, open. Inhale to centre. Last time, opening the legs. And then just shuffle your feet back onto the mat, and then we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Give ourselves a lovely hug, a lovely squeeze, maybe roll side to side just a little bit. And then let's take some nice big circles with our knees. So to begin with, I'm sending my knees together and away, and then bringing them back round towards my armpits. So whichever way you're moving, it's fine. You might start going in the opposite direction. But take 2 more, whichever direction you're going. And then just reverse those circles. And again, imagine you're moving those hip joints in something nice and sticky. So we're really starting to get some fluidity. Opening up. Getting some of that fluid, that synovial fluid into those joints. And then just bring your knees into your chest again. Take them nice and wide this time, so you're really trying to take your knees as if you're trying to get them into your armpits. And then we're going to come into happy baby. So you might be able to grab the inside of your feet here, or maybe the outside of the feet, whichever kind of feels right for you. If you can't reach your soles of your feet, then just grab your shins. Pull the toes towards you. Draw the knees into the chest. And like a happy little baby, just move with a little bit of curiosity here. Lovely. And then just into the chest, and then we're going to rock and roll our backs. And we're just going to come to sitting. So I'm going to turn and face you now. And we want to take both feet together here. So we're coming into Baddha Konasana, not Supta. Supta means lying down. Baddha Konasana is the pose with our legs out wide, like a little butterfly. And let's just flutter our legs here. Feeling nice and open. Depending on how open you are. Maybe your top of your thighs are kissing the mat. But if your legs are up here, that's fine. Just keep fluttering your little butterflies. And then we're going to take this left leg in front of us. And then we're going to grab hold of this right leg, taking our hands underneath the right leg. And we're just going to rock this hip like our little baby, side to side here. Maybe you can bring it up a bit higher, but maybe it's just down here. But just feeling to that hip joint. Love. And then we're going to bring this foot across the left leg. And you can either stay here in this single wrap, or maybe take the double wrap and bring the right leg round. And then we want to kind of get the idea of this, if you are in a double wrap, that right hip is still touching the ground. And if it isn't, then just get your block to kind of prop it so that you can feel like you're trying to ground that right hip. And then take the hands kind of behind you, just behind the buttocks. And then we're just going to exhale, bow the head forwards. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, like a wave coming forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come forwards. Inhale, come up. Let's take one more. Exhale, come forwards. And this time, just bring your hands forwards. Allow your head to hang heavy here. If you're in this double wrap, you will feel quite a lot of pulling in both hips. It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it shouldn't feel painful. And I know we're talking Water Week about always being moving, but just remember that even in this stillness, you are still, your body is still moving, your heart's still beating, the blood's still flowing, the lymph is still moving. And then just slowly bring yourself up. And then swing this right leg round behind you now. And now we're kind of in this 90-90 position. So the front leg, the shin is at 90 degrees to our knee. The right leg, ideally we want that right knee at 90 degrees to our right hip. But if that feels too much, then just shuffle that right knee a little bit closer to your left heel. And then grab your blocks. And then again, like a beautiful fluid wave, you're going to exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. 2 more. Lovely. And then bring both feet round to a kind of windscreen wiper position. And then together, we're just going to exhale both feet over to the right, both knees over to the right. Inhale both legs over to the left. And again, just close your eyes down here and just enjoy that constant flowing back and forth, like the beautiful waves on Dunwich Beach. Take one more on each side. And then this time, as both knees come back up, Let's come back to our little butterfly, Baddha Konasana again. Just float your little butterfly. And maybe your legs feel a little bit open, more open than they did a few moments ago. And then this time we're going to do this all now on the other side. So let's take our right leg directly in front of us. Pick up that left leg, take the hands underneath that left leg and just rock your little baby. And maybe if you're super flexible, you can take this left leg and put it behind your head. Yes, well, that's for another day. Just rock your little baby. And then bring that right leg across the body. And that might be enough for you. You might just want to stay there. And then we're going to come forwards. But if you want the double wrap, then bring the left leg all the way under. And you might notice a difference here. I can feel both sitting bones touching the ground without having to even think about grabbing a block. Just pull the legs in, pull that left leg, pull the heel closer to the bottom, and then just holding on to the shins. No, sorry, with your hands behind your back, lift your chest. And then exhale, come forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come forwards. Inhale, come up. And then this time as we come forwards, just bring your hands in front of you. Bow your head down. Let's stay here for 3 beautiful breaths. And then slowly bring yourself up again. And then this time, this left leg is going to come round behind us. Our right shin is coming to the top of the mat. So again, we're in this 90 degree angle at the front, 90 degree angle at the back if that suits that back leg. Hands either side of the front leg. You might want to have your blocks there if that makes it easier. And then we're just going to exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. Take 2 more of these. Last one. And then this time, we're then just going to come all the way around onto all fours. Feet together, knees nice and wide. Sink yourself down into your child's pose. And let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. Then slowly bring yourself back up. I'm just going to check the time. Come back up to all fours. And then from here, we're going to get ready for our first downward facing dog. So now let's just take our hands, one hand a bit further in front. We're coming into our knee plank. Bring your knees back underneath your hips here. Lovely. And then from here, really push down through the wrists. Nice strong arms, strong shoulders. Send the shoulder blades down the back. Nice long neck. And then you're going to tuck the toes, hover the knees, come all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. And let's just slowly move one heel, then the other heel. So we're still constantly in that ebb and flow as we lift one heel, then the other heel. Lovely. And then from here, let's now just come down onto our knees. And with this right, we'll start with the right hip. I'm just going to turn this way to face you. With the right hip
imagine you've got a pencil on that right knee. And I just want you to start drawing some circles with that right knee. So we're coming round. Can you make those circles a bit bigger? Bringing that right hip all the way out and round to the side. And then this time, instead of making the circles, we're going to draw that knee towards our chest, coming into a little tight ball. And then exhale, send the sole of the foot to the ceiling. So we're kind of like doing almost like a cat-cow here, but we've added in the movement with the leg and the hip. Obviously, if that's too much, then you can just come down to your cat-cow. So take 2 more of those. Lovely. And then this time, I'm just turning around to the long part of the mat again. This time, with that sole of the foot touching the top, facing up to the top of the ceiling, we're then going to step that top foot all the way to the top of the mat, but wide of the hand. So it wants to be on the outer edge of that right hand. So we're in this kneeling position here. And then we're going to start just making some circles. Sending this round. Lovely. And then let's come up now onto a block on the left side and take that right hand onto the right knee. And then we're going to float that right knee out to the side, moving at the hip so we come onto the outer edge of that right foot and then draw it back in. Exhale, open that right hip. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, open it out to the right. Inhale, drop it back in. Exhale, open it out to the right. Inhale, drop it back in. And then let's take our blocks to the front of the mat. You can either have them on the low height or the medium height. And again, let's just make some big circles with that right hip. And then we're just going to bow down. Inhale to come up. Exhale, bow down. You might be able to come on the lower edge. Just find where you can get to. Lovely. And then from here, move your blocks out of the way. Bring both hands down onto the mat. Tuck the back toe. Hover the back knee off the mat. And then we're going to step all the way back into our downward facing dog again. Just pedal out the feet. Couple of times here. And then we're going to come down onto our knees. And we're going to take that all on the other side now. So we're going to, we've got lots of flies in here today. We're starting to take these circles, start them a little bit small, and then gradually make them a little bit bigger. And I know it's difficult, but try and keep equal weight through both wrists, both hands here. One last circle, and then this time, bring the sole of the foot up to the ceiling. So bending at the knee with the hip raised. And then we're going to inhale, coming into this little cat-cow. Exhale, drop the belly down, send the foot up. 4 of these. Keep that fluid feeling, constantly moving, connecting your breath to your movement. And when we work with this energy, we want to get that sense of just letting go, going with the flow. One last one. And then this time we're going to step that left leg wide of our left foot. And then we're going to take these circles here with this left hip.
Again, you maybe think you've got a pencil on that back glute, so you're making some circles there. And then let's bring our blocks for that right hand. And then this time, we want to try and turn onto the outer edge of this left foot. So all of the movement comes from the hip. And then inhale back to centre. Exhale out to the left. Inhale back to centre. Take 2 more of these. Lovely. And then now with our both blocks in front of us, we're going to exhale down, bowing the head. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, come up. And then move your blocks wider than that. Bring both hands back down. Bring both knees to meet each other. Feet together, knees wide. Drop yourself down into your child's pose. Use a block underneath your forehead if you need that to connect to the mat. And take 3 beautiful ocean breaths here as you surrender down to the mat. I'm just having a little drink. And then from here, we're going to start taking some of our rolling cat-cows. So we've warmed up the hips, so we should be nice and open in these hips. We should be used to feeling wider here and more relaxed in the hips. So from here, we're going to exhale. Well, we're already in child's pose. So let's round through the spine and come all the way forwards onto our wrists, sending our heart forwards, heels towards the bottom. And then exhale, send it all the way back. Rounding through the spine, coming all the way forwards. Exhale, go back. Take 2 more of these. Again, you might just want to close your eyes down. Just to really enjoy this fluidity. And maybe now you might feel like you want to take some circles with the hips in this wide position. This is the week where you can be curious, feel into the flow that your body needs to release so that you can just let go. So you can go with the flow. Lovely. And then bring yourself back to all fours. Take your hands, one hand in front of you. So we're coming ready for our downward facing dog again. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, lift yourselves up and back into your downward facing dog. And this time, like we just did on our knees, we're now going to float this right leg up off the floor, heel to the ceiling, and then we're going to drop that right heel over towards the left buttock. And then we're going to bring it back through centre and take some big circles with it. Just like we did on all fours. Take those lovely big circles each time the sole of the foot and the knee bends so the sole of the foot touches, but imagine you're trying to touch the ceiling. And then this time square off the hips, still in your 3-legged dog. And then we're going to draw the nose towards the knee and exhale, send it back. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, draw it in. Last time, sending it all the way back. And then this time, we're going to step it to the top of the mat. Grab it with that right hand. Bring the left foot to join it. And then we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming into our Tadasana. Just checking the time again. Okay, so here we are
in our Tadasana. And we're going to take this kind of cascading flow now. So take your arms up and over. Take your mini back bend here, like we're preparing for our sun salutation. And then you're going to bend at the knee, and then you're going to just, with a big sigh out the mouth, exhale down, allow the head to hang heavy. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Mini back bend, bend the knee, exhale all the way forwards. Sweep the arms back up, taking your mini back bend. Exhale, cascading all the way forwards. 2 more, inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold. And then this time with your blocks, let's come into our proper forward fold. So we've got our feet hip width apart, nice bend in the knees so that you can connect those ribs to your knees. Drop the head all the way down. And then inhale to gazing pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale back to your gazing pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale to gazing pose. Exhale, fold. And then from here we're going to step back to our downward facing dog, because we need to take all of those circles now on the other side. So we're going to float that left leg up, drop the left heel towards the right buttock, and then start to make these lovely big circles. If it's too much in downward facing dog, then just come back to your all fours position. But if you wish to be up here in downward facing dog, then take these lovely big circles. Take one last one, and then send the sole of your foot up to the sky, up to the ceiling. And then we're going to inhale, flying plank, draw the nose to the knees. Exhale, send it away with that bent leg, sole to ceiling. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, send it up. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, send it up. And this time, as we draw that left knee towards our nose, we're going to grab it, step it to the top of the mat. Bring the right foot to join it. Roll up. Coming into our cascade again. So arms up, bend at the knees. Exhale all the way forwards. Inhale, roll up. Like a beautiful wave, we're just going to keep moving. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, come up. Take that lovely bend. Really use your arms here to kind of be curious and expressive as how you can use them to kind of create this constant flowing motion. And then this time come down into your downward, into your forward fold. And then we're going to inhale to gazing pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale to gazing pose. Exhale, fold. And this time if you fold forward, just come into your ragdoll. Just for a couple of breaths. Lovely. And then place both hands down, flat now onto the mat. And we're going to step that right foot back into our high, ready for our high lunge. Coming all the way up into our high lunge. Again, let's be fluid with the arms, bringing the arms all the way behind us. And then in front of us again. And then we're just going to exhale forwards. And inhale, come up. Exhale, come forwards. Inhale, come up. And then this time, our right hand's going to float to the back of the mat, come into warrior two. So we're left foot forwards, right foot behind.
Sorry, my phone was not happy there. Hopefully I haven't missed you, haven't lost you. So left foot forwards, right foot back. And then from here, we're going to just straighten that front leg, drop down into our Trikonasana. And then float back into Warrior Two. Drop down again into Trikonasana. Come back to Warrior Two. Step onto the ball of your back foot, come into your Ananasana again. Exhale, the hands come forwards. Inhale, they both travel up together, but the right hand comes to the back to take you back into Trikonasana again. Sorry, Warrior Two again. And then straighten the front leg, drop down into your Trikonasana. Inhale, come up. Into Warrior Two. Exhale, into Trikonasana. Exhale to Warrior Two. Step onto the ball of the back foot to come into your high lunge. And then frame the front foot. Drop the back knee. Shuffle the left leg wide here. Might need to grab your blocks, because we're going to come now into our lizard pose. We've had lots of openings here. So before we come all the way down into lizard, let's just take our blocks. We're going to exhale down to the ground 3 times. Make sure you've shuffled that rear leg back a little bit more. Lovely. And then wherever you can get to with your blocks, we want to try and bring both elbows down onto the mat. Drop the head down. And just start to really settle into that left hip. Stay here for 3 more beautiful breaths. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Take the blocks wide of the mat. Bring both knees to meet each other again. Pop yourself back into child's pose. And take 3 beautiful ocean breaths here. Lovely. Breathing out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. And then let's just come back to our all fours and take your kind of own flow here. Do you want to do some kind of circles with the hips? Do you want to do your rolling cat-cow where you come all the way back and all the way forwards? Take this time to find your flow, to be curious, and just to let go. Let go of the expectations of how you should move and feel more into how your body wants to move. And then just slowly bring yourself back to all fours. And then we're going to take our hands one hand a bit further in front. We're going to hover the knees, tuck the toes, hover the knees, come into your downward facing dog. And then from here, we're now going to step the right foot wide of our, we're going to step the right foot all the way forward, bring the left foot to join it. We're going to roll up, coming into our lovely cascade, bending at the knees, exhaling forwards. Inhale, come up, use the arms here. Make some big circles if you wish to. Exhale all the way forwards. One last one. And this time we're going to step onto the ball of the left foot, coming into our Ananasana.
And again, we're just going to float forwards 3 times. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then this time, as the arms come up, the left hand's going to travel to the back of the mat, coming into our warrior 2. Check in with your heel to arch alignment. And then from here, you're going to straighten that front leg. Drop down into your Trikonasana. Draw that left shoulder back here. Feel that nice opening on the left side. And then inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale into Trikonasana. Inhale to warrior 2. Exhale into Trikonasana. Inhale to warrior 2. Just sink into your warrior 2. And then come onto the ball of the back foot to come into your Ananasana. And then frame the front foot. Shuffle that right foot out wide. You've got both hands inside the right leg. Grab your blocks. Shuffle that left leg back so you're in this nice low lunge. Before we come into the stillness of lizard, we're just going to exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale forwards. Inhale, come up. Exhale forwards. And then depending on where you want your blocks, then just come down onto your forearms. Drop the head down. And start to settle into that stillness of that right hip. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Bring both knees together. And again, just take some nice fluid movements here. We're going to get ready in a minute to come onto our bottoms. So just find what you need and then just come round onto your bottoms. We're going to come back to our butterfly. We're just going to float our legs a couple of times up and down. And then in this position, take hold of your big toe with your index finger and your middle finger. And just use that to pull yourself down into this little ball, or maybe more of a forward fold. You can use your elbows to ease the legs out. And we're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. And slowly bring yourself back up. Come round onto your bottom. Grab your block. We're going to get ready to roll down, ready for our Shavasana. So sit up beautifully tall. And then together, we're going to exhale, roll down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Take your feet nice and wide here. And take 5 windscreen wipers to either side. Nice and slowly. I think you've got probably 2 more to go on each side. And as you float both legs over to the left, now stack the right leg on top of the left leg. So you're now coming into a twist. Take your gaze over to the right. And then inhale both legs back to centre. Shuffle your legs into the centre of the mat. And then take that twist round to the right, both knees stacked one on top of each other. And just really surrender. Enjoy this twist, enjoy the stillness. Knowing that your body is still flowing with water and oxygen, lymph. And then slowly bring both knees back together. And we're going to come into our Shavasana, so you can come back into that starting position if you want. Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out wide. And just settle into your beautiful Shavasana, hopefully now feeling a little bit more open. And I'm going to start with the reading. Maybe have one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, again, noticing the ebb and the flow of the breath. And this poem is called She Let Go. She let go. Without a word or a thought, she let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecisions within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, and without hesitation or worry. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause, no congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort, no struggle. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. So just take the next 2 minutes to really just let go. Totally let go. Remember, there's an imaginary stream next to you if you want to drop any thoughts into there, and just let them slowly float away. So for the next 3 breaths, just in your own time, however feels right for you, take 3 beautiful ocean breaths, making the exhale out of your mouth just a little bit longer, a little bit more soothing, a little bit more deeper than the previous one. And when you finish that 3rd and final breath, take a big stretch, bring your knees back in, take a big stretch overhead, and slowly come onto your favourite side. Taking a moment one last time just to allow yourself to let go. Hopefully you're all now on your favourite side. Draw your knees to your chest, into your little fetal position.
And then bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed or maybe a gentle gaze. Take your fingers either side of the mat. And then together, let's take our arms up and over. Bringing the palms to meet. Slowly, like a slow wave. Travelling up the beach. Bring the hands all the way down to the midline. Resting the thumbs at your heart centre. Bowing the head. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today, beautiful people. And I'll see you next week on the big screen. Hope you all have a lovely week going with the flow and feeling that lovely watery energy. Bye for now.